Yo guys, welcome back to another video on our channel, and today we're going to be discussing the possibility of VERDANSK actually killing Warzone rather than reviving it the way everyone thinks it's going to. And everything I talk about in this video is just my opinions on what could happen. Obviously, I hope for the complete opposite. I hope VERDANSK brings all the player base back. It makes the game amazing again. It brings Warzone back to the OG days and just the good times that we had on Warzone rather than the state that it's in now where majority of the players have actually stopped playing full stop. So let's just start off with a couple of positives. Of course, I'm super excited for VERDANSK to come back. They're making some great quality of life changes. They're trying to make the game play a lot more like it did back in OG Warzone when VERDANSK first got released. Obviously, the map's coming back. We've got some of the OG weapons, the AMX, the Kilo, the Growl, all of those sort of weapons coming back into the game, which are, of course, fan favorites in VERDANSK when it was popular. And even if we take VERDANSK out of the equation, overall, some of the changes they're making to Warzone seem very promising. They seem like great changes that needed to happen for the game to actually thrive, which is a good start. It's a great start for the update. And that's just having updates and changes that the whole community's been asking for a long time now. It seems like they're finally listening now that their game is fully in the bin and in the mud, and it's just lost so much of its player base. It seems now they've decided to finally start listening once again to the community like they did at the very start. But let's now move on to a lot of my concerns with VERDANSK coming back and how I think it could actually end up killing Warzone rather than reviving it. So the first thing is, VERDANSK, of course, is the OG map. Everyone's going to be super excited to get on VERDANSK and get back onto the OG map like it once was and load into that very first game. And I think this is going to be great for a week, maybe two. Then after that, everyone's going to be like, okay, this is the same map that we had from years ago. It's not exactly that exciting anymore. It's not the same game. It plays completely differently. It's just not exactly what I was hoping for. And the reason I say this is because if we look at all of the multiplayer maps they've started bringing back in previous years into multiplayer, it doesn't really make people want to jump on multiplayer. Like, the only reason people jump on some of these OG maps is simply because they're good at camo grinding, they're good for certain kills, they're good for certain clips, whatever it might be. They've got a certain element about them that makes them good for something in particular. And it's not a case of going, oh, firing range is coming back like it is in this season, I'm definitely going to buy Black Ops 6. Or people aren't re-downloading Black Ops 6 because firing range is back in the game, as well as Nuketown and some of the other OG maps. So it's not like OG maps are going to be the core reason that bring players back. And if it does bring them back, doesn't mean they're going to stick around for the entirety of the rest of the game. And like I said, a lot of the people that are playing OG VERDANSK and they actually experience VERDANSK, and that's what's going to bring them back to the game. The gameplay is exactly the same game as what forced them to quit the game further down the line. So they probably played VERDANSK, got into Caldera, all of those sort of maps, and then they probably started experiencing Urzikstan, Caldera, all of the different Warzone maps, and thought, you know what, this isn't for me. The gameplay's changed, the maps have changed, it doesn't play the same, doesn't have the same feel, Warzone just isn't good. And that's exactly what they're going to be returning to. Yes, it's on the OG VERDANSK map, but the gameplay is completely different. We've still got Omni movement. We've got different movement systems, different mechanics, different ways that weapons play, different attachments for your weapons. Overall, it's just a completely different game to what people left. And overall, it's just a very similar game to what was starting to lose the player base in the recent past anyway. So I'm just kind of concerned that people are going to come back and go, oh, VERDANSK is back, let's get on the game. And then they realize, okay, I've played a week of VERDANSK now. The map's fun, but the rest of the gameplay isn't for me. It's really not that good. It hasn't changed since when I quit playing the game. And then people go ahead to uninstall it once again. You know, they stop playing the game again. And then the player base very quickly starts declining, which I can definitely see happening. And we've also had rumors flying around for the last little while now, being that if VERDANSK doesn't perform well and bring the player base back and keep the players playing Warzone, then Call of Duty, Activision, Treyarch, all of those companies just might stop the Warzone production and just leave it where it is and focus on multiplayer and zombies further down the line, which is very, very interesting, but also very, very scary for a lot of people. As for a lot of content creators that have come up on Warzone, their main focus is Warzone. That is their primary job. You know, this is what a lot of people enjoy playing. A lot of people get on with their friends at the end of the day, the end of the week, maybe they get a couple of games of Warzone, and then that's their escape from the real world. So it's going to be pretty scary if VERDANSK doesn't perform well, if it doesn't bring the player base back, and it also just starts failing and people just start uninstalling after 2-3 weeks. But I don't want to have a negative overall outlook on VERDANSK coming back. I'm super excited for it. You know, just to experience the map again, land at the different areas like Superstore, town, airport, prison, wherever it is that you guys usually used to land, you can go and land back there again. Get my hands on the Kilo, the AMX, the Growl, the HDR, all of these weapons that are returning. It is going to be exciting. I am excited to get on this game, even though I've stopped playing a lot of Warzone because I don't like the way that it plays. I'm super excited to see if these quality of life changes and the updates that they are making to the game do make a difference. They make VERDANSK feel a lot nicer. They make it play well. And overall, it just does bring a lot of the player base back. It brings people back. It keeps people entertained. They keep going off of what VERDANSK is doing well, make a couple of changes maybe to the map here and there, but just overall keep listening to the community and what they want so that the game actually does perform well. It keeps the player base and overall just becomes the best game and the most selling game and the most played game once again like it used to be. But I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts on Verdansk, guys. What are your concerns? What are you looking forward to? Let me know in the comments below. If you are new around here, be sure to subscribe to the channel with notifications, turn off any more videos on the channel. I will be posting a lot of Verdansk content, so make sure you are sub with notice turned on. Leave a like if you did enjoy today's video, and I'll catch you in the next one in a bit. Peace.